What is up, Gig Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be charging up some Lime scooters, and I'm going to see how much money I can make as a Lime juicer. So I got this package actually a few months ago. I ordered the charging cables to work as a juicer with Lime, and I just haven't used it lately because originally Lime was only doing bikes in Seattle. They kind of put their business license on hold for a while for the scooters. Now they've renewed it. It's time to get into the game. I'm going to see how many of these I can charge and how much money I can make. So behind me is a new car that I just bought. It's a 2007 FJ Cruiser, and it's going to have a little bit more room in it to actually pick these scooters up and charge them. As you can see, I've got like a roof rack on top here, and there's some room in the trunk as well. It also has a charging port back there in the back seat. So I think I may actually be able to charge while I drive. But let's first take a look. I'm going to open up this package here and see what the charging cable looks like. I think I only ordered one, so this is going to be kind of like a test run. I'm going to pick up a few scooters, see how many I can fit in the FJ, and then kind of take it from there. If I look at the map, and I'm going to pull it up for you guys, if I pull it up right here in the Lime Juicer app, you can see that there's a few of these scooters by my house, but there's a ton of them downtown. I'm not going to bother with going downtown right now, because that's a big move if you have a ton of space to bring like 10-15 scooters back. I don't think I can do that, so I'm going to get the ones that are close, charge them up, and I'm also going to switch on the Ubereats delivery app, see if I can't pick up some orders and make some money that way too, because I'm all about multi-apping. It's going to be paying out about $4 per scooter to charge them. From what I've heard, it's about 25 cents in electricity cost per scooter to actually go ahead and do that charging. And then there's the gas mileage, which shouldn't be too bad. I'm not too far away, but I am driving an FJ Cruiser, which is going to be like 14 to 15 miles per gallon in the city, and that's really going to add up. So I'm going to see if I can't get a food delivery or two in there to kind of help offset that, and see if I can make some money here multi-apping. So it looks like I actually got two of these charging cables in the package. I kind of forgot what I ordered because it's been so long. I'm going to put these in the car, bring them with me. From what I've read, it takes about 3 hours to fully charge a scooter, and the ones I see on a map have about 10% charge. So I'm going to plan on that. I'm going to pick up 2, maybe 3 scooters, see if I can't charge one in the car while I'm driving. I've used the charger in the back of the FJ Cruiser. It has the 3-prong port on it that could fit this. I've used it to blow up an inflatable mattress while camping, but the last time I tried to use it, it was being a little bit weird. So let's see. I mean, that'd be cool if I could literally just throw them in the back, charge them, maybe do some food deliveries, and then go ahead and drop them off when I'm done. So I just logged on to the Ubereats app. Hopefully I can pick up an order and that can get me headed in a direction where there are scooters. I always like to kind of multitask like this. If I'm driving in one direction, use another app, see if I can't get an order heading that way. And that just makes my business a little bit more efficient. But it's 1:35 right now. That's kind of after the lunchtime hours in Seattle. I don't expect to see a lot of orders. As I signed onto the app, I did the whole facial recognition thing, and I'm looking at the map. It does not look hot at all right now. So unless someone just really wants that late lunch, maybe they're hungry for that second lunch, and they happen to send an order my way, I probably won't get much. So I'm just going to head out of here in a minute or so, head toward those scooters, those $4 charges, and see what I can do, see how many I can fit in the car. I'm going to aim for like 3 on this first run, charge those. And I started to look at the metrics in the Lime Juicer app to see, how my performance is measured and what this means for me. And it's kind of interesting. It looks like they do kind of rate me based upon how many scooters I'm actually successfully bringing back after charging and bringing them back on time as well. If I continue to have good metrics, then they increase my cap so I can get more scooters at once, and I can order more chargers and start charging potentially a ton of scooters at once if I really want to get industrial about this. We'll see how it goes though. First day, I'm not going to take it too seriously. This isn't going to be a video where I try and charge 100 scooters in a day. I just want to get the feel for it and let you guys know how that process goes, and also let you guys know how it works with multi-apping, because this could be an easy app to kind of sign on if you're doing deliveries. Maybe you're working for DoorDash, Ubereats, and you get kind of bored. There's a downtime, there's a scooter nearby. Go ahead and pick it up and just bring it home with you and drop it off the next day when you happen to be near a station. But enough chit chat, let's go ahead and head towards that first scooter. So I'm headed to Magnuson Park, and that's where the first Lime scooter's at that I'm gonna pick up and charge. Now, hopefully no one else gets there before I do. I didn't see a way to reserve the scooter, so I feel like it's kind of a free-for-all. Fortunately, I don't think the North Seattle area is too competitive, so I don't have too much to worry about. And one thing I will say about driving this car, I do love the vehicle, but it's got a massive blind spot, so I try not to film too much while I'm driving. So I'm gonna check in with you guys once I get over there and pick up that first scooter. So I just pulled in, and my map, if you can see it right here, it shows me that I'm at the right location, but I don't see a Lime scooter, I don't see a Lime bike. I'm not really sure where to look for this thing, and it's a little bit disappointing. I just drove a few miles and I can't really find it. So I'm gonna look around this parking lot a little bit more. Hopefully I can actually, come away with a scooter here and charge it and make some money. And I'm not, really too familiar with this app, so I'm gonna play around with it and, do a couple of laps in this parking lot, I guess. Hopefully find this scooter. So I'm looking at this map a little bit more carefully, and it looks like the scooter or bike's not actually in the parking lot. It's on the Burke-Gilman Trail, which is right next to the parking lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop out here and head up to that trail, and let's see if I can go ahead and pick it up real quick. Now, if you're familiar with the Burke-Gilman Trail, you'll know it's a very popular area to ride bikes in Seattle. Really hoping this is not an e-bike. I think maybe I can fit it in the back of the FJ Cruiser, but it's gonna be a lot bigger, so I can't fit as much stuff in there if I have a bike. The good thing is that the parking lot behind me is a drive-in COVID testing center. Kind of glad that the bike or scooter wasn't left there, because then I'd have to be worried about potentially catching COVID just picking this up. All right, here we are. I'm crossing the trail right here, and if we turn around, right there behind the bench is my scooter. It definitely was not easy to find. One thing I will say about using maps for food delivery, you always kind of know where the restaurant's gonna be or where the person's house is gonna be. But this scooter, literally just in the bushes here. I'm gonna grab it, throw it in the trunk real quick. And it looks like I need to actually select in the app that I'm picking it up, because an alarm just went off as I grabbed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and make sure that I do this the right way so that Lime doesn't think I'm stealing their scooter. When I unlock the scooter in the app and pick it up, it shows me exactly how much ride time I have left. So I can actually ride that scooter. And if you wanted to do this on foot and just pick up scooters close to you, you could easily do that and just have some fun riding it back to your place before you charge it. And that's definitely not a bad option. If you saw my map earlier, the downtown area was very dense with these things. So if you live down there and you want to go just walk around, pick them up, charge them up at your apartment or wherever you're at, that could be a good way to make some money and spend less money on that gas expense, which is going to be big for me here. So now the test is going to be seeing if I can charge this thing while it's in the trunk of my car. Now, if I were to put the seats down, I think I could fit a few of them back here, but I'm gonna try just keeping this one in the back, charging it up, and then throwing a couple up there on top of the rack. So if we look at the top of the scooter here by the handlebars, there's actually a little plug-in right here where I can just plug in the power cord. And then once I get that plugged in, as we can see, I'm already over here in the outlet. I've got that power cord plugged in. So I'm gonna go turn the car on and see if I can't get this scooter charging. Okay, so now that I've got that first scooter in the car, I've got the car started, engines on, and I've hit the power button to turn on my outlet so I can start charging that scooter. If we take a look at it, you can see that there's some bars flashing, and it's now at a 16% charge, which is cool because it was only 9% when I picked it up about 5 minutes ago. It's really charging quick. Honestly, I think that I could drive around and charge scooters while I drive, maybe pick one up, do a food delivery, something else, and get that side income, earning money while I'm doing another gig. But for now, I'm gonna head and pick up that next scooter, and there's one pretty close to me. It's over at Seattle Children's Hospital, less than a mile away. So let's head over there and get that next scooter and bring it back to the house so I can charge there. So I arrived at Seattle Children's Hospital. The navigation actually wanted me to go through the emergency ramp, which is not a good idea. I don't want to block some kind of an emergency. So I've pulled into an apartment complex, which is across the street. I definitely don't want to get in the way of hospital stuff. And it looks like the scooter is at a bus stop, which is right next to the hospital. Once again, I will say that navigation and actually finding these scooters is one of the hardest parts of the job. I mean, it's not a designated street address. It's just a, nearly exact GPS point on the map. So you might have to kind of look around. It might be in a non-convenient location where you can't really park. You have to go pick up the scooter. Fortunately, the scooters have a little bit of charge in them, so you can ride them, back to your car if you're driving. But I just want to take this minute before I go grab the scooter to go over a couple of things about my first day, what the cost was for me to start, because I actually paid $10 for those 2 Lime scooter chargers. Had I known, I would have waited. Lime kind of did this big thing where they had an event. You could go learn about juicing, and they were giving out free chargers apparently. But at the time, a few months back, they didn't actually have anything like that. So I actually did pay to get started. And like I mentioned, finding the scooters, driving around is the hardest part. By no means is it incredibly difficult or anything, but it is something that can be kind of frustrating, especially if you're supposed to pick up a scooter on a busy street. So just keep that in mind. And as I showed you guys earlier, the map for downtown is way busier. So what I would really recommend, if you want to do this as a side hustle, if you're looking at Lime, either do it very part-time, kind of just multi-app with delivery. If there happens to be a Lime scooter nearby, pick it up, charge it. Don't go too far out of your way for this. But if you do live downtown in a convenient location, or maybe you work downtown, picking up a few scooters while you're down there is going to be easier because there's a ton of them close together, and that could actually make this, kind of profitable. But as for today, I'm not really making a ton of money. If we check in here on my scooter charge, it's weird actually. It shows that it's no longer charging. That's because I turned my car off to shoot this part of the video. Last time I looked, it was closer to 30%, so it is charging up pretty quick, and I expect to just have to plug it into the wall when I get home for an hour or two. I have till 9 a.m. tomorrow to return these, so kind of when it's convenient. Once again, I don't want to go out of my way to take them back to a Lime hub because this gas mileage is going to add up, especially while I'm driving this car. But now that that's covered, let's go ahead and hop out so I can grab this other scooter, throw it on top, and get it home to charge it. Okay, so I just picked up that second scooter. I will say it's a little bit fun riding it back once you grab it, and I've now got it up on top here. It's bungeed down on the roof rack, so hopefully it stays there. It looks like it's pretty tight, and I always keep those bungees in the back of the car just in case I need them. Now that I've got these 2 scooters, there's not a whole lot close by me on the map, and honestly, unless I adjust the seating, I don't have a whole lot of room left in the car. So I'm going to take these home, get them charged, and then bring them back by 9 a.m. tomorrow. So I've had the Ubereats app on this whole time, and I have not seen a single offer pop up. I was kind of hoping to maybe, get an order on the way back and make some more money doing it that way. But it looks like if I want to kind of use both at the same time, I'm gonna have to go out during busier hours, either during the lunchtime or during dinner time, maybe pick up some scooters after dinner once that dies down. That might be a better strategy for multi-apping with the Lime Juicer app. So I figured I'd check in with you guys one more time now that I'm just arriving back at my house. That took me a total of about an hour, and I picked up 2 scooters. Now I definitely could have been faster. I mean, with filming, with it being my first day, getting kind of confused, it took longer than it should have. Could have taken about 30 minutes, but I'm an hour in. That's $8 total in earnings. Now, if we do the math, the expected charge electricity cost is going to be 25 cents per scooter, assuming it takes 3 hours to fully charge it. And so I got to count that against my earnings. If you're going to get serious about this, I would find out a way to get that deducted and simply just mark that down as 25 cents every time you charge a scooter. Now for me, gas costs are going to be kind of expensive as well. As I mentioned, I get like $15 to the gallon in this FJ Cruiser, and I drove about 7 miles there. It was like 3.5, 4 miles to get down there and about the same to get back. So I'm looking at about $1.50, maybe $1.75 in gas expenses, and that puts me at a little over $2 in total expenses, which means I'm netting $6 total in profit. And I still have to take these scooters back after I, pull them down out of the car, plug them in, charge them. It's really, it's a little bit of work. It's not the easiest money out there, but there are definitely some perks. And one of those is actually getting to ride around on the scooters once you pick them up. And I mean, that's a blast. Like, you could totally find a way to have fun on this, especially if you're picking up scooters with enough charge left on them, maybe above 10-20%. That would give you like 20, 30, maybe even 40 minutes of ride time per scooter. There could even be a cool way to hack this and to, ride scooters, charge them, keep them above a certain metric and ride it back to the hub. That way you don't have to spend any gas money on it. And I'm sure you can kind of figure that out. That may be something that I try and do later on once I get the hang of this. But look, this channel is for serious gig workers. So I got to be realistic about the earnings. This isn't, some awesome sensational video that's going to make it look like it's so much fun and you can make so much money charging scooters. I've seen a lot of those out there. But you can kind of throw it in there. So I don't want to be too pessimistic about it either. I've heard of people actually picking these up on the way to work and charging them at their office. That way they don't have to pay for the electricity cost. It could be a cool way to piss off your boss. Don't piss off your boss too much. You do not want to lose your day job when you're charging scooters, because this will not pay the bills. It's actually going to make your bills more expensive. So my scooters are fully charged. I got one in the back there, and I'm going to throw the other one in the trunk. I'm looking at the app at the drop-off points, and I'm a little bit disappointed because the closest one to me is in Ballard, which is easily 15 minutes away. If I look at the downtown area in the map, it's full of these different drop-off points. Like every 100 yards you can drop off a scooter, but for some reason there's only one in North Seattle, and it's not anywhere close to me, and that's kind of a huge deal. It means I'm probably not going to be charging a lot of these scooters. It doesn't really make sense for me if I have to go all the way over to Ballard to drop off. As I mentioned earlier, I'm kind of multi-apping this, and now it's dinner time, so I'm going to see if I can get like an Ubereats delivery to take me down that way so that it's not such a huge hit as far as the gas expense goes. On another funny note, I'm kind of reading through all the different things, what I missed on the app. I made some edits. Certain things, like when you're looking for a Lime scooter, you can hit the ring button in the app and it sends an alarm, so it can help you find a scooter if it happens to be like in a bush, up in a tree, somewhere weird like that. And you also can reserve those Limes for like 30 minutes. So if there's one close to you but just out of reach, you don't want someone else to take it first, you can hit the reserve button. Just make sure you go over and get it and actually follow through with charging it. Now I have till 7 a.m. to go ahead and drop these off. I'm going to do it tonight. I definitely don't think it's worth my time to wake up at 6 to go drop these off for $8. So I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. And the last thing that I kind of noticed when I was looking through the Lime instructions are that Lime suggests you bring a buddy, which honestly would be fun. It'd be great to have someone else out with me charging these scooters, but I'm making $8. I'm driving a total of 10 or 12 miles. I'm charging these scooters. I'm paying 50 cents for electricity. Once you add that all up, I'm making like $5. When you split that between two people, it's almost no money. So I'm definitely not bringing a buddy along for this. And I've got other recommendations for gigs for those buddies. But it's not a terrible situation for everyone charging scooters. If you're in the right place, you have the right drop-off spot, you could make some easy money. Let me know what you think about charging scooters with Lime. If you've tried it, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for all of the latest gig economy news, side hustles, things that you need to know to earn more of that money.